welcome, Steve. So it's what, 7 a.m. here. I haven't had breakfast, and that's something I often do. I know you might do that a little bit as well. And well, we're both looking forward to a bit of a coffee, but really goes against is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Your opinions?
Well, it is if you're in the business of selling breakfast cereals.
Yeah, right.
I've been asked that question a number of times. Who came up with that idea?
Oh, I guess Dr. Kellogg's.
God, that's right. Is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Well, I would argue that every meal is important.
Yep.
One of the answer to that question, or a description that I give, is having worked on a dairy farm for the total sum of about 2 weeks in my life, realising that there's many people in New Zealand, such as dairy farmers, and they get up 4 o'clock in the morning, they go and milk the cows, and then they come back and they have breakfast.
Yep.
So is that breakfast? Some people get up and the first thing they do is go to the fridge. Is that breakfast? So the answer is sort of, what is breakfast?
Right. So most of our audience is going to be endurance sports enthusiasts. We're looking at breakfast and we're thinking, do we eat before or after we go out for exercise?
Yeah. Look, it's a really good question, because whether or not you have food in your tummy or being digested, being absorbed, circulating around your system, actually has an effect on the way your body responds to exercise. And especially a big carbohydrate meal, those sorts of breakfasts that we've been taught to have. So there's not one answer. One answer doesn't fit all.
Right. So then, I know you also did a bit of a study with men and women eating breakfast and not eating breakfast.
Yeah.
Findings?
So this was a long time ago, and but I did a study with the first ones to do it, really, where we investigated the effect of either having a high carbohydrate, moderate sized breakfast before or after training, and the training was at a moderate.
So what kind of breakfast is that? Is that like a muesli or a porridge?
Wheat bix and milk.
Yep.
Maybe with a spoonful of sugar, I think.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. And then people trained, and the training started off with, it was over 4 weeks. Started off for half an hour, ended up being an hour and a half or more, actually, nearly 2 hours, as people got fitter. And essentially, what we showed was the men responded to training in an overnight fasted state by improving their muscles' capacity to burn fat. The women didn't respond in the same way. Their muscles didn't change in response to training in an overnight fasted state.
Right.
The men that trained with their tummies full of breakfast, they didn't respond.
Yeah.
And the women that trained with a tummy full of breakfast, they were the same as the women that didn't train with a tummy full of breakfast. So what we showed was that the muscles of men seemed to be more able to respond to that fasted training. It was better for them. So it wasn't a huge study, but we got it published, and we took muscle biopsies, so it was it's a fairly solid bit of work, where the outcome of which really seems to suggest that I think that women are already better fat burners anyway, because we know they are, and that if you want to train in a faster state, you're better off doing that as a man. One thing we did show that for both sexes, though, was that if you trained in a fasted state, your muscles, male or female, your muscles had a better ability to store glycogen.
Okay. Wow. So that's almost like a super compensation.
Yeah, you had a better ability to super compensate.
Right.
So there was an advantage there. If someone comes to me and says, should I train in an overnight fasted state, I think the answer is, well, what are you doing? What sort of exercise are you doing? And of course that changes from day to day. And so really I think there's a time to train before breakfast, and there's a time to train on a full stomach.
All right. Well, sounds like we're more informed now, so thanks for that.
Time for breakfast.
Yeah, let's go.